Hello, this is Raptor. What you see is the first page we present to our user of our project. We can see we have three functions here, which are search, checkout, and login. We choose these three functions because we think they are three of the most commonly used functions in our project. So you can see by default, the search function is presented to the user first. Here I would like to mention two of the most important features of our search function. At first, everyone can use our search function without logging to the system. The second feature is that our search function is smart enough to detect if the user is trying to search using ID of the item or using ISBN or using keywords in the title. So now I will show you how to search by ISBN. So a string is inputted by the user, and then the user click on the search button. So actually at this time, after receiving the input, the server will detect if the user wants to search in actually trying to search in using ID or keywords in the title or ISBN according to the format of the string inputted by the user. So now we have the result page, and when we click on the show details button, we can see that another window pop up and showing the detailed information of the item, like the cover page including the description. So at the bottom of the window, we can see that there is another table showing the information of different copies of the items having same ISBN. So here we can see that for this ISBN we have two items. That means two copies of the same book and with different status. So we should notice that for the item with status available, the reserve checkbox is disabled, because if the item is available, if it's available, you can just go and borrow it. But for the item with status unknown, we can click on the reserve checkbox and then click on reserve. So another window will pop up to ask for login. Then besides reserve, we have another button called add to collection. When we click on the add to collection button, we can see that another window pop up again to ask for login. As for the add to collection button, what is used for later, you will see that in the personal homepage, the personal bookshelf. Now we will show you how to search by keyword in the title. So we try program and click on the search button. And again, the server will know that now user is trying to search using keyword. So now we can see that a lot of items having program as having program in their title is listed in the result page. Now let's see the checkout function. A user can check out using ISBN or ID. So now the user input a string to the into our system. Is actually ISBN, and then the user can click on the checkout button. Again, if the input is ISBN or ID is detected by the server, so now we can see that the result, the corresponding items have been showed on the checkout page. And on the right hand side of the checkout page, we can see a checkout list, which enable users to check out multiple items simultaneously. So when we click on the show details button of one of the item, and we can see another window showing the detailed information of the item within two buttons at the bottom of the window. When we click on the add to checkout list button, we can see that the item is now added to the checkout list. And now we choose the checkout checkbox and confirm checkout. Another window appears to ask for login. So that's all for checkout. Now we will show you how to log in as a student or a staff. So the user will click on the login button, and the system will jump to the login page, and the user input his ID and password. Choose the category and click on the login button. After clicking on the login button, the system will bring the user into her personal homepage. We can see a different section of the home pages: account info and the personal bookshelf and loan history, as well as account settings. So I will introduce you the account info page first. So on the account info page, we can the user can view the items is borrowed by him now, and also the items that those are reserved by him now. So on the table showing the items on loan, we can see detailed information like the item ID and the title, and also the from date and due date. So at the right hand side of the table, we can see a column called renew, and when we click on the renew checkbox of item with ID 30 and confirm renew, a note window will ask for confirmation from the user. When let's note the due date of item with ID 30. It's 2012 7th of April. When we click on OK, we can see now the due date has become 2012 14th of April. And also, after the item is renewed, we can see the renew checkbox is occupied, and further renew of the same item is not allowed by our system. This is one of the constraints we made when doing requirement elicitation. And also, we can see that another item which is borrowed by this user with status reserved. When we move mouse to the renew checkbox, we can see that renew of this item is not allowed by our system. Also, under the item showing the item information borrowed by this user, we can see another table showing the reserved item current reserved item of the user. So that's all for the account info page. So now we will show you another function of our system, which is a special feature of our system, that is the personal bookshelf. On the personal homepage, when the user click on the personal bookshelf, the system will bring him to the it's like a personal bookshelf of the users, presenting all the books chosen by the user to put in his bookshelf. So we can see that when the user move his mouse on one of the item, and it's able for him to delete the item from his personal bookshelf. So you can see the animation here. And also when the user click on the corresponding item, the detailed information of the item will be shown on another pop-up window. So that's all for our personal bookshelf. Another two sub-pages of the personal homepage is the loan history and the account settings. So the loan history is basically showing all the history of the user with all the books he used to borrow. And the account settings is we can change password here, and also we can the users can choose if he allowed the assistant to email him or her, or send message to him or her 1 day before the due date. So that's all for the personal homepage. So now we are going to show you the login as administrator, which is a librarian. So click on the login button and input the ID and password. So here we choose input ID 1, which is who is a librarian in our database. But here we leave the category as student and try click on the login button. So we can see that the system alerts that current ID input is not a student. So we click on OK and go back to change the category to library. So login again. Now successfully logging, and the system bring the user to the administrator homepage. So by default, the system bring the librarian to the add member page. So now let's see how add member works. So input all the detailed information for a member. And click on the submit button. So a pop-up window will show the information the librarian has just input for the librarian to do double check. And click on add this member. So now adding is successfully. So click on OK. And then I will show you one of the remove, which is remove we remove a member. So input the member ID and click submit. So now another window will pop up showing the information fetched from the database according to the user ID input by the librarian. And if the librarian confirmed to remove this member, click on remove member button, and now the removing is successfully. Another important function is the reset finds. Click on reset finds, input the user ID. The librarian wants to reset whose find. So the find information is shown now. Check the reset find checkbox. Click on reset find. Again, reset find is successful. So that's all.